Close your eyes and imagine for a moment. You woke up this morning. The alarm went off. You picked up your phone. You haven't even gotten out of bed yet, but your mind feels as tired as if it had run a marathon all night. There is an invisible blanket of tons of weight over you. I need to get up, you tell yourself. There is work. There are responsibilities. There are places I need to be. You get up. You take a shower. You make coffee. You go outside. From the outside, everything looks fine. You go to work. You answer questions. You smile. You even succeed. But inside, there is a strange emptiness. Like that moment when a radio frequency isn't quite tuned and only makes static. So, when did you name this feeling? Usually we call this laziness, right? We get mad at ourselves. I'm not disciplined enough. I have no willpower. I used to be like this. Why can't I do it now? But what if the problem isn't laziness? What if the problem is that you've been trying to stay strong without a single break for too long? And it's your soul's way of saying, enough. Today, we are going to talk about the quietest, most insidious, but most destructive epidemic of the modern world, burnout. But we won't just give a textbook definition. We will take a close look at how that mechanism works inside, how our minds trap us in a corner, and what happens inside when that battery drops to 0%. If lately you've felt something slipping away from you even while doing the things you love most, these 20 minutes might not just be a speech. Maybe it will be the most honest mirror you will hold up to your own mind. First, let's clear up this major misconception. Society has taught us this. If you're tired, you rest, and it passes. You sleep, and you wake up refreshed the next day. You take time off, you go on vacation, and your battery charges. But burnout doesn't work that way. When burnout was first defined by German-American psychologist Herbert Freudenberger in the 1970s, it was actually handled as occupational wear and tear. But today, it has become a chronic existential deadlock wrapping around every aspect of life. Understanding the difference between laziness and burnout is the first step to healing. A lazy person enjoys doing nothing. They don't feel guilty, or they feel very little of it. They enjoy the moment. But a burnout person? They want to do things. They have dreams. They care about their responsibilities. They want to work, produce, and be with the people they love. But they have no battery. Here lies the greatest pain. While the mind screams, run, the body and nervous system say, we are too full to take another step. This disconnect creates a tremendous wave of guilt inside a person. Why am I so weak? Why can't I walk while everyone else is running? Because burnout is not a disaster that strikes overnight. It is not a building collapsing in a single night. It is water dripping onto the foundation for years, rotting the concrete. It is a process that silently, digestively takes over you even when you do not give consent. So, let's turn the microscope toward our minds. How does the brain reach this point? Modern humans do not live with a brain all that different from our stone and water, hunter-gatherer ancestors. But the amount of stimuli we are exposed to gives us every day a multiple of what our ancestors saw in a lifetime. Notifications, emails, flawless lives scrolling by on social media, the pressure to be better, economic anxiety, fear of the future. The small region in our brains called the amygdala, which detects danger and ensures our survival, is on high alert 24/7. It is as if a tiger is constantly chasing us behind our backs. For our ancestors, that tiger was real. They ran, they escaped, and the nervous system relaxed, returned to homeostasis. But our tiger is invisible. That email at work, that uncertainty about the future, that endless to-do list. The tiger never leaves the room. In this environment of chronic threat, the brain saves energy for the most critical organs to survive. It cuts back on higher-level thinking, creativity, enthusiasm, joy, and empathy, focusing solely on the survival mode, fight or flight. That numb phase of burnout starts right here. People call this emotional numbing. You are neither very happy nor very sad. You just exist. Colors have faded. Food has become tasteless. Even the music you love no longer stirs your inside like it used to. The brain has flipped the switch itself to avoid suffering more, to avoid wearing out more. It tripped the circuit breaker so the main engine wouldn't burn out. How does this process work? We generally go through three main stages. As you review your own life, you will notice how many of these you have experienced. That period where you try to make everything look great. I'll handle it. I can do it. I'm unstoppable. Sleep is sacrificed. Social life is put on hold. Because there is a goal, and you are driven to reach that goal. In this stage, a person feels very productive and strong. Actually, this is the calm before the storm. This is where the brain trips that first circuit breaker. An alienation towards work, people, and even life begins to settle in. The question, what's the point, takes root in the mind. Things you used to care about no longer excite you. You start becoming impatient, intolerant, and distant toward people. That warm, enthusiastic child inside quietly steps aside and leaves a tired shadow in its place. The battery is at 0%. The screen has gone dark. Getting out of bed in the morning turns into physical torture. Even the simplest decisions, what to wear, what food to order, grow as large as mountains. Crying crises, unreasoned anger outbursts, or conversely, the inability to react to anything at all. The body starts giving psychosomatic signals, unending headaches, stomach cramps, inviting illnesses that wait for the moment your immune system crashes. If these sounds are familiar to you, know that you are not alone. This is not a sign of weakness. It is the natural consequence of trying to stay strong for too long. So, is there a way out of here? When the battery is completely dead, where are we going to plug that charging cable back in? Most people make the same mistake when trying to recover from burnout. They make an even more intense recovery plan. I'll wake up early. I'll meditate. I'll work out. I'll watch my diet. Stop. The worst thing you can give to a burnout person is a new to-do list, because that list becomes another tool of pressure. Healing begins not by stepping on the gas, but by taking your foot off the accelerator, granting yourself the right to do nothing, turning your back for a while on the lie of you must be productive imposed by society. Staring blankly out the window for days without doing anything is not laziness. It is a treatment process. Your mind needs silence to emerge from that noisy street and find its own inner voice. Relearning the word no. The most common trait of burnt-out people is saying no to themselves while saying yes to everyone else. Learning to set boundaries means protecting your soul at the expense of disappointing others. Shrinking expectations. Stopping running life like a marathon and shrinking the moment. Were you able to get out of bed today? Great. Were you able to drink just a glass of water today? Enough. Taking small steps, slowly. Allowing your cells to breathe again. And most importantly, showing compassion to yourself. Stopping the urge to be angry at that tired-faced person you see when you look in the mirror and being able to embrace them. Being able to say, "You're very tired, I know. You fought for too long, but you can rest now. You are safe." Life is not a racetrack, and you are not a machine. When your batteries die, you can let go of the obligation to carry the world on your shoulders. Because you are a human being with your flaws, your tiredness, and your right to stop. And sometimes, stopping everything and just breathing is the most revolutionary action you can take. Take a deep breath. Drop that weight on your shoulders to the ground. For now, just for this minute. Everything else left behind can wait. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video.